All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the late night with Coach Eli edition. Glad you could all join me tonight. Or if you're here on the replay because this is too late for you, I can understand that. Welcome to the show. Before we get started, let me make sure the notification has gone out on YouTube, and it has. And let me also check out the back end of YouTube and ensure that things are rolling smoothly. And they seem to be rolling smoothly. And as I just mentioned a second ago, we are also simulcasting live on Facebook again. I can't even talk again. What a day it's been. I got to tell you that. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, so stick around. Let me check that out. Facebook again. I can't even talk again. What a day it's been. I have to tell you that. We got a lot to talk about. Conquer fear every day. Let me check that out. Hey, Bruce, welcome to the show. How you doing, bro? Apparently, that other side, the echo chamber, seems to think they know who you are, and they may be right. I don't know for a fact if that's you. Someone that's also here as a moderator on a different channel, but it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. I'm glad you're here. You've been very consistent. And here's the thing, Bruce, because I know that's not your real name, and that's okay. I get why you're in here on that account. I'm willing to help you, bro, in any way possible. You need a friend to talk to regarding anything, bro, I will speak with you privately at any time, free of charge. Because I believe you are a moderator on my channel as well, here on a different account. And I know you're going through some stuff. Everybody goes through things. And, rather than dealing with people that really don't care, that just care to criticize people when they're going through stuff and make endless dramatic content about these people, I'm really here to truly help. So whatever you need, bro, you let me know behind the scenes. I'd be happy to talk with you. You don't have to look at me as a coach. Just look at me as a friend, bro. Everybody needs good support, especially when they go through things, man. But thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you. I don't know what kind of a turnout we're going to have tonight, but it doesn't really matter because, like I always say here on my live streams, I do my live streams in a way where they have great replay value. So whether you're here live to engage within the YouTube chat or the Facebook chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, even down the road, these shows have, great value because, like I've always mentioned, you don't have to like me or be my friend, but if you apply the principles that I teach, they do work. Over the course of time, they do work, and they will help you get a better grip on your life. Also, once again, I want to pay special props to this channel sponsor, Mr. Troy Brewer. He's a CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. If you'd like more information on the Discover Community Network, please go to the description of the YouTube, section, the YouTube part, or in the description section on Facebook as well, and find out more. I'm still working on finding the way to streamline presenting my sponsor. I'm working on that with him. As soon as I have something different, I will share that. But I'm really trying to, cut down the opener of each show, and really get to the meat and potatoes because, that's what people want. That's what people need. And that's what I'm going to give you folks. Jenny, I didn't hear from you today. Are you okay? Yes, we can, Jenny. Absolutely. Jenny from the block, moderator and channel member. I came home from my trip with a whole bunch of crap. Coach Eli, can we talk tomorrow? Absolutely, Jenny. You let me know when you're free. Are you going to be here for a little while on the show, or are you just passing by? That's totally up to you. I don't want you to think that I wasn't available today to talk with you. I figured something came up. You got jet lag. That happens. That can happen. My version of jet lag is my sleeping pattern. It's been off, and it's still off because I've been putting out a lot of content lately, doing a lot of streams, 1 to 2 streams per day. With the exception of the last few days, I've put out one. And I've been actually talking with people privately behind the scenes and helping them. Have been quite busy. Also, some things that I've been working. There are some things I've been working on in my personal life, which is what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot going on. I'm keeping myself busy. So Jenny says she'll be here, and we can definitely talk tomorrow. Let me know when you're around. Maybe sometime in the late morning. I think, are you on the East Coast, Jenny? I can't remember. Are you East Coast or Central? What time zone are you in? And what time in your time zone works for you? Let me know and we can make that happen. Okay. So let me check the Facebook side of things. We have 2 people on Facebook. Great. Say hello if you'd like, and feel free to ask any questions during this show, whether they pertain to the topic or not. You can ask any business or personal questions regarding, getting a job in the corporate world or for somebody else, or transitioning into becoming a self-employed entrepreneur. On the personal side of things, we can talk about, your relationships, dating, marriage. A lot of people ask me, Eli, you've never been married, so how can you help people that are married? You've only been in relationships. Let me make something very clear. Being married to somebody is no different than being in a relationship with them. The only difference is a legal agreement between you, your partner, and the state you live in if you live here in the U.S. In other countries, it's the province or however it works over there, right? But ask yourselves, for those of you that haven't married, what's the difference between being married and just dating someone that you're living with? It's the same thing. You just don't have that legal agreement, right? Okay? And so the principles of making a marriage work are the exact same principles that make your relationship work before you get married. So for people that, have questioned me, how are you qualified to talk about, people that are married? Because a marriage is a relationship in the same way or ways, a dating relationship is. The only difference is you have a legal agreement between you and the state. You're in the Midwest, 1:30, so you are Central Time. You are Central Time. So yeah, maybe we could speak tomorrow at about 1:30 p.m. Central Time, which would be 11:30 a.m. Pacific Time. I'll message you privately on Hangouts in the morning, and we can just make it happen. Depending on what time I go to bed tonight, that depends on the time the stream ends. And when I get up tomorrow, my sleeping pattern, like I said, has been all over the place because I've been working hard to create content. And at the same time, I've been, coaching a lot of people behind the scenes. And, I love helping people, but, I got to rest at some point too, right? I just haven't been able to rest a lot lately because I've been involved in a lot of things, and that's what I wanted to do. So, all right. So the topic of tonight's stream is men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. One more time. Men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. Now, women, you can also learn something from this as well. I'm more so primarily catering this stream to men because the way men and women process emotions are differently. Like I've said in the past, women respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. Like I've said in the past on a stream the other day, and American Dream got a good chuckle out of it, right? I wonder if Dream's going to show up here tonight. Let's say you're in a relationship or a marriage with a woman. You're a man that's in a relationship with a woman for 10 years or married to a woman for 10 years, right? And let's say everything you do is perfect. Now, no one's perfect. Let's just use this for example purposes. Let's say you did everything perfect for 10 years, right? Everything's going great. You're taking your girlfriend or wife out on dates. You have date nights. You have consistent intimacy. Everything's great, right? And then one day after your 10-year anniversary, you do something really stupid, right? How do you think that your wife or your girlfriend's going to react in that situation? She's going to react to you emotionally based on how she's feeling in that present moment, right? And if you do something bad enough, it might even end your relationship, despite the fact that the previous 10 years before that day were perfect in her eyes, right? When you're dealing with women and the way they process things emotionally, you don't get time for good behavior. It's not like being an inmate in jail. Let's say you get sentenced to 20 years and, because your behavior in jail is great while you're in jail and you do great things, they may cut your sentence 5 or 10 years, right? Because you're getting time for good behavior. When it comes to women, guys, you don't get time for good behavior. Jenny, you tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. You're a woman. I respect you. You know I respect you, Jenny. I'm not trying to talk smack. I'm stating the facts. You're a good woman, but you're an emotional being, right? And you're going to process things emotionally based on how you're feeling in this very present moment, right? See, Jenny, we're having a good conversation right now. But if I started talking smack about you, which I'm not, this is just for example purposes, Jenny. If I started talking smack about you, you'd say, I'm out of here, Eli. I don't want to put up with this, right? And forget about tomorrow, Eli. You're a phony life coach, Eli, right? You'd probably go off on me like that, right? If I were to start talking smack about you, which I'm not, right? So guys, if you don't give your woman a reason to flip on you emotionally, right? Continue being the good man that you were when you first met her. Like the title says of this stream, men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. Okay? So for women, they process emotions first and then they reason with logic, right? For men, the way we're biologically hardwired is to look at everything logically, right? Does this make sense for us, right? And after we process things logically, then we may react with a little emotion or feel something emotionally, right? But again, men process emotions differently than women. Okay? And what do women respect men for? What do they look up to men for? They look up to men for their emotional strength and emotional self-control. Now, I'm not saying it's completely normal for a woman to lose emotional self-control, but in my opinion, it's a little bit more acceptable because women are emotional beings. Like I said, they process everything initially, emotionally first, based on how they're feeling in the present moment. For guys, that's not part of our natural biology, but there are some men that behave that way. There are some men that react to everything emotionally and lose emotional self-control. Have you dealt with men like that, Jenny from the block? I'm sure you have. Okay. There are men that lose their emotional self-control. Right? And let me tell you something. I was thinking about this. This is going to become one of my new mottos. As a man, okay, if you lose your emotional self-control, you will lose at everything in life. Let me repeat that one more time. Take this as gospel. If you lose your emotional self-control as a man, you will lose at everything in life. We're logical thinkers, right? How can a man logically process things and make the best possible decisions when they lose their emotional self-control? Now, how do I know that? Because just like every man on this planet, whether they become strong emotionally or they are strong emotionally, at times, even the strongest of men are going to lose emotional self-control. It happens to the best of us, right? And if it happens on occasion, That's perfectly normal and healthy because just because we're men doesn't mean we don't have feelings, doesn't mean we don't get hurt, right? I've lost emotional self-control a time or two in my life. Now I'm talking about my real life before I even came out here on YouTube, right? And what happened when I lost emotional self-control? No one wanted to be around me. When I was younger, the women I was dating didn't want to be with me anymore, right? My friends lost respect for me. They still hung around me, but they didn't really like seeing me in that way. They would highly criticize me, and they had every right to do so. Listen well. Hey, thumbs up. How you doing? Welcome to the show. How'd you find out about the stream? Thank you for the thumbs up. Please, thumbs up this stream, folks. I've only got 3 likes. Let's offset the dislike mobs. All right? So as I got older, in my life outside of YouTube and social media, I learned how to get a grip on my emotions. And I don't let anything affect me anymore emotionally. Now, don't get me wrong. I have feelings and I go through breakups and I still feel pain, but I've learned to manage it better. And I don't overreact. If a woman breaks up with me, I'm not going to beg her to take me back because I know that doesn't work. And that's overreacting emotionally, losing emotional self-control. A strong man is going to say, hey, it just didn't work out. It sucks and it hurts. And I'll process that pain on my own. And I'm not going to, try to continue convincing this woman to take me back, which she wouldn't do that anyway. Because once a woman makes a decision to leave you, that's it, right? She's made up her mind. She's the only one that can change it back. And it has to be done on her own without any pressure. And if you pressure her, you're going to maybe start scaring her to the point of where she may need to get a restraining order on you. Do you want to put that on you? Do you want to put that on yourself? No, absolutely not. Welcome back, Jenny. Bruce says, welcome, listen. Hi, listen, says Jenny from the block. Now, when I came out here on YouTube, for you folks that, create content or roam around these YouTube streets as a content creator, or as a consumer of content, that's what I'm trying to say, right? When I first came out here on YouTube, I didn't realize how crazy the court of public opinion was. And I got involved with some groups that, I wish I never got involved with, but I didn't know they were, horrible groups initially. I had to, try it out. I give people chances, right? I got on some panels with some people that had experience of being out here on YouTube. And a lot of times these people will intentionally try to trigger you. So you lose emotional self-control and you go crazy on a live stream of theirs. And then they take those live streams and they cut them up, into many videos. And then after that time, they continue to blast those clips of you losing your emotional self-control all over YouTube to try to make you look like a fool. And had I known better on how to handle myself out here on YouTube years ago when I first came on the platform as a real content creator, stemming back from my former channel, I wouldn't have given them that. I would have been able to have a better grip on my online emotional self-control because my offline emotional self-control has been stellar. But coming online and dealing with a bunch of these people all at once on a shared platform was a new experience for me, right? And I had to learn how to get a grip on my emotions. And now, here we are 4 years later. I'm in the best position within myself I feel I could possibly be in. I have become much stronger, even online, which has also made me even more stronger than I already was offline. And I am in complete emotional self-control of myself, right? My emotions, right? And that's where I want to help you folks get to. Now, here's how the show is going to go tonight. I'm going to talk about a few situations, and I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it regardless. It's going to involve that echo chamber I've been talking about because they continue to talk about me, which I don't care. And there's only one reason why I'm even talking about them, because there's a content creator that just came back on the scene on a new channel that I really care about. And I really want to send a clear message to him because I really care about him, despite the fact that he's chosen to be a part of this echo chamber, whether he realizes he is a part of it or not, right? And his name is RJ Sandifer. He is a blind YouTuber. And I've known him for almost 3 years, stemming back to my former channel I used to run a couple years ago. And for those of you that are new, I shut down my former channel a little over 2 years ago. And then 3 months later, I came back, started this channel, and I've been here on this channel for almost 2.5 years now. So RJ, I'm sure you watch my streams, or if you're not watching this one, I'm sure somebody that's watching from that echo chamber. I'm sure we have 13 people right now. I'm sure there are at least a few people from the echo chamber here. Welcome to the show. Good morning to you. If you're still on the West Coast, it's 11:37 p.m. So, good evening. It's not morning yet over here. It's morning everywhere else here, at least in the U.S. Let RJ know. RJ, I want you to hear this because, how do I put this? I'm not here to try to convince you to do something, RJ, and I'm not here to force you to hang out with certain people or to talk to certain people or not. That's up to you. But I do have a few things that I'd like you to think about if you care to think about them, and maybe you may want to respond to them in the video. If you want to do a YouTube style, or we can talk privately, however you want to do it. If you want to play the YouTube game and we go back and forth and do this YouTube style, bro, that's okay. Whatever works best for you folks. Whatever your preferred method of communication is, I'm good with it. I'd rather talk with you privately, but if you want to go YouTube style, hey, it's all good, right? From one YouTuber to another, right? So I'll be sharing a story about that. I'm also going to be talking about what happened. If you've been following me for a while, if not, you're going to want to look into this. It was very, very interesting and disturbing at the same time. I was interviewed by one of my moderators, Lewis Fuller. He's a pretty well-known YouTuber throughout some of the communities I participate in. And earlier this morning, my previous stream before this one, I did a live stream. About an hour before I went live on Lewis's channel. So if you want to understand the full entire story, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, go back to my previous live stream replay. It's only about 45 minutes long, something like that. Check it out. You'll also have a link to the live stream replay of Lewis's live stream where I was interviewed. Now, the actual interview was only about 45 minutes long, but then some things happened after that. And I'm sure you don't have the time to sit there and, watch this 2.5 hour stream where pretty much, what happened after the first 45 minutes may not matter to most of you. You can kind of skim through it, but I'll share more about what happened. And RJ, you're going to want to listen to this because see, RJ, you are considered a disabled YouTuber, right? You're a blind man and you have Asperger's, a form of autism, right? And I respect you for that, right? And you see, RJ, I've been criticized for attacking you and saying some things to you that would be considered attacking a disabled person, okay? Now, that was not my intentions. I'll share more about that here in just a second. So I'm going to share those two stories. Then I'm going to take a break. And while I'm on break, I'm going to play another video from my former channel, Coach Eli Classics, videos from my former channel. And it's an interesting segue into the second segment because I'm going to be I'm going to be sharing my video. It's 26 minutes long. I may even play the whole thing and do some commentary on my own past video from almost 4 years ago. It's called People Constantly Come and Go from Our Life. One more time. People constantly come and go from our life. And that made perfect sense today because, even out here on YouTube, in our real life, people come and go from our lives as well. That's what I'm trying to say. Relationships, they fail. Sometimes you'll go on 1 or 2 dates with a man or a woman, and then they ghost you, right? Okay. Sometimes your friends will come around, and then you won't see them for 6 months or a year, right? People are going to constantly come and go from our lives. And even out here on YouTube, I'm catering it more towards the online YouTube aspect and even Facebook, because a lot of us will connect with people. We hang out with them, right? They support us. We support them, right? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, poof, they disappear, right? Some of them will tell you, hey, I can't be a part of this anymore. Good luck to you. That happened to me with one person today. I'll be sharing a little bit about that story. And it happens all the time. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. We're going to talk about it. But I'm going to share, probably that entire video, which I'm going to start during my first break, and then come back and go through the rest of it and really share with you folks, why that actually happens. So stick around for that. Okay. Let me see. Nothing going on Facebook. Nobody on Facebook. We did have 2 people there, but they're gone. Okay, that's great. 12 people on YouTube. Thank you for being here. All right. So let's talk about RJ Sandiford. So RJ, like I mentioned yesterday, is a blind. I mentioned yesterday and the day before because he just came back on the scene, right? He's a blind YouTuber. I've known him for 3 years. And over the last 3 years, he's repeated the same pattern about 15 times. He starts a channel, reaches out to me, is really nice to me, then goes back to this echo chamber dramasphere group, right? They start to troll him. He starts to attack other people because he knows that's what they want. Primarily, he comes at me and says, nasty things about me, or tries to get me to admit to things that happened years ago in the past, because that's what that group wants, right? Basically, he feeds into them, right? Then after a while, a month or so, he gets tired of that. And then he reaches out to me and says, Eli, I'm done with this. I'm done with this drama. I want to go back to creating my biblical content, my God-loving content catered to the Lord, right? Well, he gets a lot of views when he's doing the drama stuff because, the drama audience wants to follow anyone that talks smack about me or other people. That's what they want, right? Then he gets tired of that. He starts doing biblical streams, and no one from that audience comes to watch his biblical streams. So then he goes back to the drama, and then he shuts down his channel, and then he takes a break, and then he does it all over again, 2 months later, right? Or 3 months later. Lather, rinse, repeat. Now, why does this happen? I kind of try to talk with this. I kind of try to talk about this with RJ, which is what I'm trying to say. And, it has to do with his Asperger's, his autism. A lot of people have called him the flip-flopper, which, I don't want to be rude, RJ, but you are a flip-flopper. But the truth of the matter is, the reason why you're a flip-flopper is because of your autism, which I can understand that, right? I can understand that, right? Like half the time you want to be on the good side of things, and half the time you want to stir up the pot with the echo chamber dramasphere group, right? Okay. But here's the question I want to ask you, RJ. You don't have to answer. You don't owe me anything. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. You're not obligated to answer. You can if you'd like. It's totally up to you. Okay. But let me ask you this, RJ. What is your purpose, right? I want to ask you, what is your purpose? Because I can tell you what my purpose is. My purpose is my coaching business and to help people get the best possible grips on their lives so that way they can all accomplish whatever it is that their hearts desire. American Dream 1.5 is in the house. That's the real American Dream. American Dream. Yeah, what happened earlier this morning on Lewis Fuller's channel was crazy. I'm going to talk about it. I don't know how much of the show you've been listening to, Dream. If not, go back and check out the first part of the replay. Dream just woke up. He slept all day. his sleeping pattern is off, and I don't blame you. Between your work dream and YouTube and all that, yeah, I understand it, bro. I get it. I get it. That's my purpose, RJ. My purpose is what defines me as a man. Now, guys, understand this. I've talked about the importance of your purpose in the past. The importance of your purpose is that you don't want to make a woman you're dating your purpose. If you make a woman you're dating your purpose, it's almost like going up to a woman and saying, babe, I love you so much. I can't live without you. Please never leave me. If you approach a woman in that way nowadays, she's going to think you're the most pathetic, insecure, overly emotional, or unstable type of person. She's going to look at you as extremely low value because women have risen up, right? And even before, back in the days, before women were risen up and they were more of the homemakers, right? Men were much stronger. Like, you need to be the same type of man nowadays as men were back in the days of traditionalism, right? Okay. So if you make a woman your purpose as a man, it's just not going to work out. And if she even hangs around you for a little while, she's only going to hang around you because she can easily manipulate you to get what she wants from you, right? And you don't want to be with somebody, guys, that's not genuinely with you, right? So your actual purpose has nothing to do with women or anyone else besides yourself. You create a purpose for yourself within. What is your purpose, right? Like I said, my purpose is helping people get the best possible grips on their life so that way they can accomplish whatever it is that their hearts desire, right? My purpose is to help people. That's why I feel I was put on this planet, right? So RJ, I want to ask you honestly, what is your purpose, right? Now, I understand you're disabled. You get money from the state. I'm not criticizing you. Do I feel terrible about the fact that you were born blind? Absolutely. I don't wish harm upon anyone. I feel terrible about that because I think you're an amazing person that's very talented. You're very talented even as a blind man. I can only imagine how much more dangerous you would be, RJ, if you weren't blind. Right? Now, when I first met you, RJ, you were running a Bible channel. You were praising the words of the Lord. And you were singing songs like, we are here to praise the Lord. Remember that? We are here to praise the Lord. You have a great voice, RJ, but much better than mine, right? RJ, why don't you start singing some We Are Here to Praise the Lord, right? Whatever happened to We Are Here to Praise the Lord? Everyone forgot about that, but Coach Eli doesn't forget anything at all. Nothing, right? And when RJ watches this, I'm sure he's not here live. He'll catch the replay. He'll be singing some We Are Here to Praise the Lord very soon. Right, RJ? So when I first met you, RJ, 3 years ago, I'd come to your streams, and maybe I was only one or two people there because, most people on this platform, until they get to know you, are not going to value real good content like yours, especially God-loving preaching content. I love that stuff, RJ. I bonded with you because of that. And that's what your purpose is, right? At least that's what I thought your purpose was, right? But if we look at it realistically, RJ, isn't that your purpose to come out here and to praise the good words of the Lord, right? Because like you always say, RJ, you have a degree in theology, right? And a bunch of other degrees. And I respect you for that, RJ, right? So you got these degrees, right? And even if you didn't have the degrees, not a big deal. I still would respect you, but you just so happen to have these college degrees where you are more than qualified to talk about certain things, right? And besides that, you just have learned a lot in life. You learned a lot about life because of what you've experienced, and you've experienced a lot, and you have a lot of great stories to share, RJ, right? So let me ask you, RJ, what is your purpose? Is your purpose to help uplift people and create God-loving content? Or is your purpose to be a part of an echo chamber and echo the same stuff that the Jamies and the Raleighs and all these people are echoing, right? Because honestly, RJ, lately, all you've been doing since you came back on your 15th channel, since you shut down 14 other channels over the past 3 years, is you came right back into the echo chamber. And you basically are adding to the echo of the echo chamber, right? So is your purpose to be a God-loving man and to help uplift people, or is your purpose to be a part of the echo chamber and help echo negativity and hateful attacks on myself and American Dream and many other people? I thought you were a God-loving man. And I'm not criticizing you. I'm just asking you. You don't even have to answer it, RJ. You don't owe me anything. I don't owe you anything. But I'm just throwing it out there, right? You talk about me, I'll talk about you. No problem. I'll talk about anybody. No problem, right? American Dream 1.5 says, RJ, I'm praying for you. And furthermore, American Dream 1.5 says, echo chambers can be hurtful towards others. Right. So you tell me, RJ, what's your purpose? Is it endless, nonsensical drama and being an echo chamber for that Jamie and Raleigh drama group, right? And then you ask me, you continue to say, I wish Eli would be a man and talk with Jamie. Oh, I'm a man. I'm more of a man than any of you combined, right? That's how confident I am. The point I'm trying to make is that, or it's the same thing I was telling you on your stream, your first stream yesterday, and then I was on your morning stream as well, right? Before I went live yesterday, and then I went on Lewis's channel. Now I'm back here tonight. And in between that, I had a bunch of coaching sessions. I've been busy, okay? There's no point in talking with any of these people. You're not understanding what their purpose is, or at least what they are making their purpose to be at this point, RJ. Jamie and Raleigh are making their purpose to be leaders of an echo chamber that just want to, debate and attack people publicly on any live stream, try to trigger them, and then go back to their channels and create endless, low-cow, echo chamberish type of content, RJ. And like I told you, and you even mentioned it on one of your streams today that I heard, okay, that you did. You mentioned it yourself. That you don't have to talk to anyone you don't want to, Eli. And neither do you, RJ. So why can you not accept the fact, RJ, that I don't want to ever talk to Jamie or Raleigh or these people again? They're not a part of my community. We have a difference of many opinions. We're in a different genre. We have a different purpose of being out here on YouTube. Why can't you understand and accept that? But you keep pushing the envelope after I've told you time and time again that I don't have to talk to anyone I don't want to talk to, right? You also said that you could have booted me off your stream for not allowing you to bring Jamie on the panel last night. RJ, you created that stream to talk with me. The purpose of that stream was to talk with me, not to bring me on and then allow 5 other people to come on and gang mob attack me, right? I'm not going to let that happen. But see, maybe that's what you wanted to happen to get those big numbers for the drama ratings, right? That's the only thing that makes sense to me, RJ. They will get on accounts and attack you. Yep, absolutely. Bruce, absolutely. Bruce says RJ probably doesn't want to be in the fire from the other side. Well, he's going to be, because here's the thing. He inserted himself back into it, Bruce. And the moment he tries to walk away and come on this side, they're going to attack his channel in the same ways they attack me. That's what these people do. He doesn't get it. He's had 15 different channels. He's gone through this cycle 15 times. God bless you, RJ. And you still don't get it. And I'm not mad. I care about you, and I want to help you. But you're just not open to the help. And I can't help anyone that's not open to the help. I'm not trying to be rude or mean to anyone. It's not that I am not capable of talking with Jamie or Raleigh. But again, they're not looking for a civil conversation. They're looking to get on a panel with anyone that will talk with them, so that way they can beat them down, play their game, and trigger them and make content out of it. What part of that don't you understand, RJ? Right? And RJ, you continue to let these people drill in your head something that I said to you on a live stream 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when I was triggered by these people and I made a mistake, which I've apologized to you many times, online and offline, like 10 times. How many times are you going to keep repeating the same thing, RJ? Because these people keep feeding it in your head because they know they can get to you and control you and keep you as part of their echo chamber to come at me. RJ, I was on a panel and I got triggered because these other people manipulated you into turning against me, right? And I said something about you I wasn't proud of. I called you a blind F. I did. With no disrespect, I called you a blind F. I'm not going to say the word. I don't want to get this demonetized on a monetized channel, right? Now, here's the thing. I regret what I said. I'll say it again. I regret what I said. It was disrespectful to you. It was also disrespectful to my gay and lesbian friends because I love everybody equally despite their age, race, sex, national origin, and even sexual orientation, RJ. What I said to you was rude, was unprofessional, and very inappropriate. It was disgusting. And I regret it. How many more times do you want me to go out publicly and say I regret what I said? But if we go back to the topic of this stream, RJ, men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. I lost my emotional self-control, RJ. I admit it. I lost my shit. I lost my emotional self-control, which is why I said that. But you know I didn't mean it, RJ. We've all had our moments. We've all said things that we regret, right? You've even said it. You said it on your panel. Everyone else has said it, right? Why is everyone else allowed to make mistakes and be forgiven, and those things are forgotten? But when it comes to Coach Eli, nothing ever is forgotten, right? Why? Is it just because of the fact that I'm a coach and you guys don't like the fact that I'm a coach? Is that what it is? I apologize for the 100th time, RJ, for calling you a blind F. It was wrong. It was immature. I lost my emotional self-control because I let those guys that you are now associated with as part of that echo chamber, I allowed them to get to me, right? But I learned from all of that, RJ. I learned from all of that, and I'm at the point right now, I'm so emotionally strong online and offline that I don't react or overreact at all. I came on your stream yesterday, and even, this morning, the day before yesterday and this morning, I came on both your streams. I was cool, calm, and collected. I answered all your questions and questions that you guys asked regarding stuff we've talked about that are 2+ years old. I said, look, I'm not here to rehash the past. We've talked about it. How about we talk about something new? Or do you folks not want to talk about anything during the last 6 months because I've done nothing horrible the last 6 months, right? So you got to go and dig back to those years and keep rehashing the same thing over and over again? Is that your purpose, RJ, or is your purpose to be a God-loving man, right? Let's talk about, you guys have criticized me about attacking the disabled, which I never have. I said some things that I didn't mean. That doesn't mean I attacked you. I never attacked you, RJ, for your disability. I basically said something because you allowed these people to believe that I'm a horrible person, and you allowed them to ruin our friendship, and it hurt. It did. It hurt. If the same thing happened to you on the flip side, RJ, you'd be feeling the same way, right? Right? But if we're going to talk about attacking the disabled, the people that you are echoing their message through your channels, part of that echo chamber, okay, are now attacking two other disabled people. Number one, a lady named Wendy is being attacked by your buddy, like in theory, Jamie, and many other people that are a part of that echo chamber you seem to enjoy being a part of. How do you feel about them attacking this woman? Now, I'm not saying this woman's a saint. She's done some things, but she's disabled, right? But they've attacked her and called her names, many names. There are many clips out there, RJ, if you're paying attention, on Jamie and other people saying things about a woman that's basically mentally retarded. No disrespect. Bruce says, all the people you pissed off want individual apologies. They all have a personal grudge that they can't let go of because they're insecure, Bruce. They're insecure, they're immature, and they're mentally and emotionally unstable. That's the truth, right? They can't let things go. They're grown adults, right? Now, on a show, I was on RJ's show this morning, okay, the second time after I was on the previous, day, right? And I was on the show with a guy named J-Rom, and he approached me respectfully. Now, I don't know if he has, if he actually enjoyed that conversation, if he was being nice just to be nice. I've heard some smack talk since then, but not from him, other people saying things. But, until I hear something from him, I don't know what to think. But the bottom line is he approached me respectfully, and we had a conversation briefly on RJ's stream before I had to leave and get to my stream in the morning to promote the live interview I did on Lewis's channel, which we'll talk about in a second, RJ, because there's more. There's more attacking of the disabled that you don't know about, right? That these people from your echo chamber are doing, right? But you're sitting here joining them to come at me, right? And you're a disabled blind man, and you're sitting there and you are, in essence, backing people that are truly attacking the disabled. You thought about that? Think about it, right? So what happened after after I went on RJ's live stream this morning briefly? I ran a live stream on my channel to promote, Lewis Fuller's live stream where he was interviewing me. Lewis Fuller made a big boo-boo. We talked about it. And he realized he made a mistake. I knew something was going to probably happen. What Lewis did, he came in my chat during the stream and said, American Dream 1.5, go on my chat right now so I know it's you so I can moderate you. Big mistake. I've got a super troll that I have a restraining order on that watches everything I do. He's obsessed with me. He's a stalker. Now, am I afraid of him? No, because I think he's the most pathetic person on the planet, maybe next to Jamie. But here's the thing. He created an exact duplicate account of American Dream, and because you cannot check channels out with the natively on YouTube chats unless you have the go-to channel extension like I do. So this guy, it was Ronaldo, aka Trim Hits, aka the Doctor. It was him, 100%, no doubt about it. He's the only one besides me. I could create those accounts if I wanted to. I know how to do them fast, but besides him and I, no one else can create an account that fast and be there. This guy has everything all set and ready to go, right? He's ready for everything, right? So he created a duplicate account, used the same profile picture, same exact screen name, right? Okay. And he went into that chat, and Lewis thought it was the real American Dream, but it was Ronaldo. So he moderated Ronaldo. We're going to call him Ronaldo just for privacy purposes, right? So he moderates Ronaldo, right? Dream says these aggressors are insecure, hashtag immature, and mentally unstable. I've got an update on GLM, Dream. It's going to come after the break here in just a little bit. Maybe she contacted you too, but there's an update on that. And it's going to pertain to the video I start playing during the break, which is called People Constantly Come and Go from Our Lives. From our life, I mean. Bruce says, yes, I unfortunately had to feel the wrath of the timeouts and bans. American Dream 1.5, be aware of social media subculture of these trolls. Right, they have no life. They just don't love themselves. That's the bottom line. So Ronaldo gets moderated, right? But what does Ronaldo do? There's a way where you can duplicate accounts and actually with script, use different fonts and different colors and add symbols, right? So not only was Ronaldo moderated under his fake American Dream 1.5 account, right? He also created a secondary account that was not moderated, but appeared like it was moderated because he created a script to change the color of the text to moderator blue, and then to add the wrench to the right of that name, right? So what happened? He basically was using one account. Dream had left to go somewhere. I thought it was Dream initially, right? I'll tell you how I figured it out. So with the fake non-moderated account that appeared moderated, Ronaldo, aka Trim, aka the doctor, you want to call him Trim, if you guys want to refer to him as Trim, they're all the same person, right? He was pretending to be Dream, and he was using verbiage to come off as Dream. Then he had the actual account that was moderated that started banning people, right? And it would show American Dream 1.5, has timed you out, has banned everybody. And then when I started to see that, I'm like, something's going on here. And then the real Dream came in. He was text messaging me. He's saying we've been hijacked. It took me a little while to figure it out, but everything happened in the same ways I just said it, right? Now, here's the thing, RJ. You know this guy, the doctor, Trim Hits, Ronaldo, right? The same guy that trolled one of your most favorite YouTubers with his Mao Zhao account. He trolled Lucrezia, right? Learn Italian with Lucrezia, right? And then you did a stream that's been deleted, but I still have it. Where you said, Mao Zhao, we already know who you are. You're Dr. blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say his name. AKA Trim Hits, AKA Ronaldo Smith Jenkins. Do you want me to put that up publicly again? What do you call it, RJ? Hey, Dr. blah, blah, blah. Hey, CUCKOLD. You called him that. You called the doctor the CUCKOLD word, right? I'm trying to be professional here, okay? It was quite entertaining, I will tell you. I was there live for that show, right? This guy is a part of this echo chamber that you have become a part of. This guy has accused me also of attacking the disabled, which I haven't, right? Yet he just attacked a disabled man, Lewis Fuller. So let's see, RJ. You associate with Lycan Theory and Raleigh Jones, both people who attacked the disabled, right in front of our face. And also the doctor who attacked another disabled person today. I thought the doctor was in jail until today. No, I have not heard anything about his trial. It's supposed to be happening soon. I need to call the courthouse and find out what's going on in Pensacola, Florida. But he's been pretty quiet for the most part. He hasn't done that much content on me until what he did today. He was pretty much quarantined. He doesn't have a whole lot more to go on, right? He needed to get some attention. He needed to feed his narcissistic supply, so he found a way to do it today. The point of the matter is this. I told Lewis to go in his back end of YouTube Studio and just remove all mod wrenches and remod me. Here's my link. And it took about 45 minutes. The live stream is still up as of this point. I may go download it just to have a backup in case Lewis removes it, but it's still publicly available. If you want to see that stream, go to my community tab on YouTube, a few postings down, or go to my previous live stream on Facebook and YouTube, and the link is there as well. And you can see what happened. It was just insane. So RJ, here's the thing. I've said some things I regret. I've made mistakes. I don't know how many more times I need to come out and apologize to you. You've accepted my apology 10 times. How many more times are you going to feed into the same thing just to try to fit in with this, echo chamber drama sphere audience, right? And why do you want to be a part of an echo chamber, RJ, when you're a God-loving man? If being a God-loving man is your purpose, then why are you a part of this echo chamber? Well, Eli, you may think I'm a part of this echo chamber, but I really love these people, okay? If that's your purpose to be an echo chamber, RJ, if that's the way that your mother and father raised you to be, okay? My father's dead. I know both of your parents have passed away. God rest their soul, RJ. But in the memory of your father's and mother's death and the way they raised you to be, do you honestly feel they raised you to be this type of person? Think about that. What is your purpose, RJ? Is your purpose, once again, before I move on from this, is your purpose to be a God-loving man to help uplift people? Or is your purpose, RJ, to be a dramasphere echo chamber? Because that's what you are. If you want to own that, I can respect that, right? I'll stay away from it, but I can respect that, right? So what's your purpose, RJ? You want to talk privately in the morning, or are you going to do it YouTube style and live stream? You're going to do it YouTube style because rather than talking privately, you want to get the views, right? That's fine. You can get the views, bro. No problem. You want me to pop on the stream with you, RJ? Just you and I? You want to do that? Let's go. I'm not expecting it, RJ. I'm just saying, look, hey, I'm asking you an honest question, right? I've answered all of your questions in the past. I'm not going to rehash things from the past. I've moved past it, right? I've become much stronger out here on YouTube. And I figured by now you would have as well, RJ, but maybe you're still learning. And if you need more help with that, RJ, I'd be glad to help you if you're open to it, right? American Dream 1.5 says, hashtag AKA hashtag Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil. Huh. American Dream 1.5 says, RJ, this is holy ground. You're welcome here. Well, he's welcome here as long as he brings no drama here. I'm a drama-free zone. I worked hard to get my channel to where it's at with my Nightbot security and my YouTube's blocked word security in the back end of YouTube. Every now and then, one or two trolls pop in, just like one did, and we banned them, paid no attention to them, right? But again, what happened on Lewis's channel today was despicable. Despicable, hypocritical. For these people are the biggest hypocrites. You know why? They know they're hypocrites, and they know we can tell they're hypocrites. And they do it on purpose at times because they know we're going to call them out, and it continues this back and forth. Like I said, over the past few days, these people are going to talk about me all the time, whether I talk about them or not, right? If I don't talk about them, they're going to still talk about me, right? That's what they do, right? So if they're going to talk about me and ask them to say about them, and I can incorporate them into one of my shows and teach people a lesson, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to be respectful and mature about it. And I'm just going to state the facts. If you want to call them my opinions, that's fine. I'm only stating what I know to be facts. And some things are an opinion. But most of what I say out here are facts. So RJ, you do what you got to do. I don't want anything from you. I don't expect anything from you. I really would want to be your friend. I really want to respect you more for what your real purpose is, but you need to first figure out what that is for yourself. How about you let me know, let us all know, what is your purpose? It's one or the other, RJ. Are you a God-loving man out here to praise the words of the Lord and uplift people like you were when you first started your YouTube career 3 years ago? Or are you a dramasphere echo chamber? You can't be both, RJ. You're one or the other. A God-loving man would not associate with terrible people like you're associating with. It's up to you. If you want to hang out with them, that's on you. But keep me out of it, right? But again, talk about me all you want. They can talk about me. They talked about me again tonight on Raleigh Jones. He did some birthday bash for Lauren, right? They kept talking about me. I'm laughing. I'm like, you folks really honestly are infatuated by me. You are. You're infatuated by me, right? You folks are going to make me more famous because I know how to play the game now, right? And this is the way you play the game, American Dream and Bruce and everyone else. It's not about who you talk about or what you talk about. It's how you talk about them. It's having emotional self-control. Once again, before I go to the break, the topic of today's stream is men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. One more time. Men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. When I came on your panel, RJ, I was cool, calm, and collective. Even Dream mentioned that, right? And you know why you guys got mad? You know why you guys, kept saying that I didn't answer all your questions? Because I didn't get triggered because I was cool and calm. Even people in your chat, RJ, were asking for the demon preacher and an angry Eli to come out, right? They don't want to hear a civil show, RJ. They don't want to hear a civil show, and you were trying to give them what they wanted. You were trying to give them the entertainment they wanted. You wanted to bring Jamie on there to have us go at it, right? Well, even if you did bring him on there, I would have just left because I don't want to go toe-to-toe with him. I don't want to argue him or anyone. I'm not here to argue people. I'm here to help people, RJ. And I thought that's what your purpose was on YouTube initially as well. So what are you, RJ? Are you a drama echo chamber or are you a God-loving man that uplifts people, right? Before I go to the break, one more thing. Like I mentioned this earlier, Dream, you missed this part. This makes perfect sense. And this is primarily catered to men. If you live this as gospel, your life will change, okay? Any man that loses his emotional self-control loses in all aspects of life. One more time. Any man that loses his emotional self-control loses in all aspects of life. That can include, hey, let's say you're working in the corporate world or working for somebody else. If you lose your emotional self-control and say something rude to your boss, they're going to fire you, right? So you lose, right? If you're a man, you're dating a woman and you lose your emotional self-control, if she doesn't leave you that first time you lose it, the second or third time she will, right? What happens when men lose their emotional self-control? They lose it all, right? And you may be saying, I'm losing my emotional self-control right now. No, this is passion. I feel this. This is raw passion. I've got control of myself. And I'm never losing it ever again. I've lost it before. I've made mistakes. I'm human. I've learned from them. I want you folks to learn from them as well and better yourselves. American Dream 1.5 says, Coach Eli handled himself, hashtag cool, hashtag calm, and hashtag controlled. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to step away for a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. And let me switch over to the browser screen here, where I have another Coach Eli classic video queued up from my former channel that's now not publicly available, but it's on my Coach Eli Classics videos from my former channel. channel. Does that make sense? And it's titled, People Constantly Come and Go from Our Life. And it was originally released on June 13th, 2017. So we're looking at almost 4 years ago. And I'm going to play this while I go on break and probably play the rest of it when I come back from break because, this happens to people out here on YouTube, on Facebook, and in real life. And it's happened. It just actually happened a few hours ago before I went live. Dream was somebody that you and I both know. GLM. GLM, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are, I'm not here to talk smack about you. I got nothing bad to say about you. I'll share my thoughts about that. But check out this video here while I go on break, and I'll share more when we get back. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, everyone. Coach Eli here, a.k.a. the Morning Rooster. And I am here to wake you up so that you have the absolute best possible shot of accomplishing whatever it is that your heart desires. Welcome back to another episode of my Video Relationship Sanctuary series. And today I have another very interesting topic. Things are getting really hot and heavy here on Coach Eli's YouTube channel and on his website. So if you are brand new and just checking out this video as one of the first Coach Eli videos, make sure you go back and check the library of other videos. There are plenty of them out there. There's an entire fundamental series, there's an email series, there's a business series, and there's a lot more to come. But welcome to everyone that's brand new, and thank you to everyone that's been following me and been faithful to me so far in the first few months of my new coaching business here. But the topic of today's Video Relationship Sanctuary is people constantly come and go from our life. One more time. People constantly come and go from our life. And I was really inspired to create this topic today because I was just thinking back to how many people I've met in my entire life and how many of them have come and gone several times. Sometimes, you hang out with people throughout high school, and then all of a sudden they go their separate way. They may or may not get married, or they may move away. And next thing you know, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you somehow reunite with them. Maybe they move back into town, or you end up working a job together, or you run into each other at a supermarket. You just never know when it's going to happen. But a lot of people feel that once someone escapes out of your life per se, that they are gone for good. And that is absolutely not true. And today I have a few stories I'm going to share with you all regarding how I've experienced this in my personal life, not only on a personal romantic relationship level, not only at a personal romantic relationship level is what I'm trying to say, but on a business level as well, whether it was during my corporate days or even more so now in my entrepreneurial days. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 10 plus years. So let me first and foremost share the most important aspect of this entire video. You should never burn any bridges with anyone unless you absolutely have to. One more time, you should never burn any bridges with anyone unless you absolutely have to. Sometimes people feel if they've been done wrong by somebody else or someone's left their life for one of many reasons, whether it's a relationship that ended or whether you got terminated from a job or, somehow, you were friends with somebody and somehow, is what I'm trying to say, they decided to not spend as much time with you, or maybe they found a significant other and, they've kind of kicked you up to the curb. In my honest opinion, you should never burn any bridges unless you absolutely have to. And so if we start off on the business aspect, okay, how does this work at a business level? Well, let me give you an example. I used to run networking events. and I still kind of do, maybe not as often, but hopefully I'll be getting those events started up again soon, kind of taking a break from networking events right now because it takes time to start a new business and you have to focus all of your energy on that. But when I was running networking events, one of the main issues I encountered were people that were coming to that event just to try to sell you their products. And if you didn't purchase their products, then, they would not come back or they wouldn't keep in touch with you. Or if you send them a friend request on Facebook, a few weeks down the road, if you ended up not buying from them, they would unfriend you. That's just plain ridiculous in my eyes, because them burning that bridge, if they need your help in some way, shape, or form down the road, you're going to be less prone to want to help them because they weren't being courteous with you initially. They came to your event not to meet people and get to know, like, and trust people, which is the purpose of a networking event, but they came there to just try to hard sell their product and barf their business, per se, on you. And since you didn't buy into them, they feel that you're not worthy of them. So if they need your help down the road, why would you feel like helping them? So there's an example right there where you don't want to burn your bridges because, you may need these people down the road in the future. And like I said, people come and go, from your life, consistently. And you never know, again, when they're going to need you for something or they're going to need your help for something, okay? Now, on a personal level, this is where it gets really interesting here, okay? My two relationships after my high school sweetheart broke up with me was very interesting. The first relationship after my high school sweetheart was a long-term relationship. I was dating this lady that was 5 years older than me, and she had like an 8-month-old baby. She had it with a guy. It was a mistake that happened, but she loves her son, don't get me wrong, but it was an accident. And when her and I got together, it was at a point in my life where I had gained a little bit of weight. For the most part, I've been in pretty good shape most of my life, but I had gained a little bit of weight during that time. But she still liked my personality, and she, she was, in pretty decent shape with the exception of her pregnancy weight, which she was working on losing. But, she didn't mind that I had a few extra pounds on me, and we ended up, dating for quite a while. Well, what ended up happening? Down the road, she ended up breaking up with me because, she just said that she just wasn't feeling it anymore. And if I look back, decades ago now, with what I know, the reason why she broke up with me is because I was out of shape and I couldn't please her sexually in the ways that she wanted to be pleased. But here is the interesting part, okay? So after she split it off with me, I took a little time off, and then I started dating somebody else. And I was dating somebody else, my third girlfriend, and we were dating for quite a while, for many years. And after that relationship happened, it was ironic, literally like 3 to 4 months after that relationship ended, my previous ex reached out to me, saw me, I forgot how it was, she saw me, I think it was MySpace or something back then, I can't remember which online website it was, but she reached out to me and she saw that I had really good shape and she was just checking to see how I was doing. Well, like I mentioned in previous videos, if a woman reaches out to you, if she's broken up with you and then she reaches out to you, you have to assume that she wants to see you. And she's, subtly asking you, how you're doing just to see if you're single or not. So, I reconnected with her. And I'll tell you what ended up happening. I was excited about the fact that she reached out to me because it had been a while since I've seen her. I had gotten myself back in good shape. She'd never seen me in this great shape. And I was excited to meet her because, she got into a little bit of better shape herself. And, the sexual attraction was really there. But I knew her and we trusted each other from the past. And it was just a comfortable thing to do. But it was just a curiosity to see how it would be if we were to get together again. Well, we ended up getting together. And for my current girlfriend, I hate that you have to hear this, but I'm just a real person. This is how life is. So her and I got together and I fucked the shit out of her. And she was asking me, what happened to you? I mean, well, while we're doing this, she's saying, what happened to you? Oh my God, I should have never let you go. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, well, I lost all the weight that I had gained back then. And all of a sudden now she's saying I should have never let you go. That wasn't the truth. The truth was that, she, liked the new me because I was taking better care of myself. And so, her and I, we hung out a little while longer, but after a few weeks, I just really wasn't feeling it like I used to feel it. I thought I was going to, but I just didn't. And I chalked it up to the point of where I just realized that, hey, it was never meant to be between us. But the bottom line is that since she ended the relationship and now she reached out to try to work things out with me, now this would be my chance to go in there, give it a shot. And if it didn't work, now I could be the one that ended on my terms. Because what
that's an interesting story. That's an interesting story regarding people come and go. They constantly come and go from your life, right? Also goes to show that you don't know what you've got until it's gone, right? I was really good to this woman, right? Really good to her initially. Yes, in my life, my weights fluctuated plus minus 20, 30, like 3 or 4 times. That was one of the times it happened, right? And, I was working on it and basically she gave up on me, right? She gave up on me, but you know what? Like later on down the road, she reached out to me, and it's not that I didn't want to give her a chance legitimately. Like I would have been willing to work it out with her, but she basically showed me her true colors. She basically showed me her true colors. She basically valued almost 100% of our connection based on sexual attraction, which that has to be there. I understand that, and that's true to this day. But there has to be a lot more than that, right? And after we stopped seeing each other, we talked, and she goes, "Well, you got your revenge, didn't you?" I said, "No, this is not about revenge. I'm just looking for a lot more than what I feel you're seeking. I'm just not feeling that you're with me for the right reasons. But we had to try it out and see how it would feel, right?" And so that happens, folks. People are going to come and go from your life, and you shouldn't let it faze you. And if they keep coming back and forth, kind of like you, RJ, you keep coming back and forth, flip-flop, right? That's going to happen. And it's your choice whether you want to give that person a chance or not. But you know what? Like, typically when it comes to a woman, if you're going to give her a second chance after she leaves you because she comes to you, she came to me, she reached out to me, right? If it doesn't work out that second time, it's just never, ever going to work. You keep trying to make it work, going back and forth, you're just going to both spin your wheels.
What happens, when you're the one that breaks up with somebody, it doesn't feel as bad as if you're the one that's being broken up with. So
That's right. And it's not about being an arrogant guy. It's not about using a woman. Like, I've never used a woman for intimacy. Like, my intentions with her were pure, right? But when you're broken up with after you've given your heart and soul and treated this woman well, okay, and then she comes back, right? And, she doesn't, really share with you, doesn't really apologize to you for what happened, right? She did say, "I should have never let you go," but I was rocking her world in the bedroom. like I'm not saying I wasn't a good lover when I was with her initially, but I was like 20 or 30 pounds heavier, which I'm not really that unattractive when I'm 20 or 30 pounds heavier. But listen, when you get into the optimal shape of your of your size, like for me, 5'10", 170, 165, 170, I'd gotten up to like 195, I think, or something like that. Okay. Like it's you cannot move as fast or go as long, right? When you're in really good shape, you have more energy and your body's more flexible, and you could just go longer. You could be like the jackhammer. You know what the jackhammer is, right? I was waiting for her to apologize and let me know that, hey, you know what? It was selfish of me to let you go. She never did that. And as much as she wanted to be with me and be faithful and all that, I just couldn't get past that. I couldn't get past that. That's what happened.
You dump some.
But yeah. So she broke up with me the first time, came back. I was willing to give it a legitimate chance. And then I broke up with her. So what happens? It's a power shift. And it's not about being a control freak. It's about being in control of your life. And, it's about, as a man, you figuring out what works for you. Don't let the other person, try to, don't let the woman try to convince you to be what she wants you to be. It's about being yourself. In this case, I just felt like she wasn't really being herself. She was fazed by the fact that, I had gotten back into really good shape, taking good care of myself, smelled good, and, I was 100 times of a better lover than I was initially.
One, it's going to hurt you as well, but it's not going to hurt you as much as if you were the one that was getting dumped. And that's what I think happened there. So that's an example of people coming in and out of your life. It actually does happen, folks. And it's going to happen more often than none. But I just realized after that point of reconnecting with her, reuniting with her, there was really no purpose of continuing a relationship. And, I'm the kind of person that likes to, not burn bridges, like I said, but obviously she was really hurt that it didn't work out. And she made a choice that, hey, if you don't want to be with me in that way, then, we just need to move on. Okay, no problem at all. So what ended up happening after that? Okay, what ended up happening was my previous relationship, this was the relationship that, my third relationship, which was after my second relationship. So I don't confuse everyone here. The second relationship I had, I reunited with this lady that I just mentioned after the third relationship. When it didn't work out with her, the lady I had the third relationship with reached out to me shortly after I, had, stopped seeing my, second girlfriend for the second time around. So she was not.
I was thinking about what GLM was saying about when I was talking about rattlesnakes, and she was talking about trouser snakes. They wanted to revisit the Coach Eli trouser snakes. That's hilarious, man. I love women. Life is interesting, man. I gotta tell you.
Now trying to reunite with me. And the same thing happened. We started talking, things were great, it was cool, she wanted to give it another chance, and she really felt like it really worked this time, and I was like, okay, it sounded pretty exciting. So we got together, obviously we were intimate, and it was fucking fantastic. It always seems to be really fantastic. The first time you have sex with somebody that you reunite with, that you used to date, and you're trying to work it out with them, it's always...
Yeah. It's because they broke up with you, right? And you just went on with your life. This is what I tell guys. Guys, go no contact, radio silence. If a woman breaks up with you, let her know, hey, look, If she tries to friend zone you, I'm not interested in being just friends. I'm interested in something romantic. If that's not what you want, I'm going to let you go right off into the sunset. Do what you got to do. I'm going to go do my thing. But if you change your mind, give me a call if you change your mind. And then you turn, you walk away, you never look back. This is straight out of Coach Corey Wayne's methods in his book, How to Be a 3% Man, right? Because 97% of the men don't get this right. You turn, you walk away, you never look back. You never call them, text them, email them, okay? You don't make any contact with them. Dream says, trouser snake. That went over my head the first time she said that, on that stream she was on several streams ago, Dream. But yeah, it's just interesting. Like, it is exciting because they reach out to you, right? Because you went no contact. Then they see you on social media years down the road, right? And then they reach out to you and they say, hi, how you doing? They say hi. They put themselves back in your orbit. In essence, it's their idea. They want to reconnect with you, right? And it's an exciting feeling because at that point, when they're doing that, they're chasing you, right? Maybe initially, a guy has to pursue a woman to show interest, but don't over pursue. But once you get the woman, back off and let her do 70 to 80% of all the calling, texting, and pursuing. If not, she's going to fall out of love with you. She's going to lose interest, right? It has to be a woman's idea all the time throughout the entire relationship for it to work, right? Right? So this was her idea to reach out to me. And then, you meet up with them, you have a conversation, you start to, feel like you're bonding like you did initially, but it's years later, right? And it's exciting that first time you reconnect with them and you're intimate with them and you're close with them. It's freaking exciting. And then after that first time, things start to they start to feel different, right? Because for me, I want that same feeling to continue, but the woman has to also feel that same feeling, right? And that's what happens. I think what happens is the thrill of reconnecting with somebody that you used to date is there, like initially, but after you hang out with them a couple of weeks or a month or so, you start to remember why you broke up in the first place, or why she broke up with you, or why it didn't work out, whether you broke up with her or she broke up with you, right? Yeah, it's interesting.
It always kind of feels like you have something to prove because I've been dumped in the past. I've never been the one that's dumped women. I'm a faithful, loving, caring man.
I am.
And
I am.
I'm there. Once I commit myself to a woman,
definitely committed.
I'm there, through thick and thin. And for the most part, till death do us part if it gets to that point, Not saying that we would have to get married, but, if I commit myself and tell a woman I love her, I am with her, until the point of her not wanting to be with me if that's the case. So, this girl and I were hanging out, for another couple of weeks, and I just started feeling the same way as I did with my previous ex that I reunited with. And so I was starting to realize something here that, people are going to come and go from your life, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out the second time around, especially in dating romantic relationships. It may or may not. Don't let my stories discourage you. I'm just sharing with you folks that in my experience, if it didn't work out the first time around, it's more than likely not going to work the second time around. But hey, in a rare case such as yours, it may be different. I'm just letting you know that for the most...
Yeah, it's possible for things to work around the second time around. But here's the thing. People typically are going to show you their true colors when you're first with them, right? And, in my case with the first story I shared, where I gained a little bit of weight, and then I lost that weight, that's what attracted her to reach out. Right? And that's what, made her want to be with me. Is that the right reason? Now, again, had she come out and said, hey, I was wrong. I was selfish. I was, judgmental. If she owned up to why she really left me instead of just telling me I should have never let you go when I was intimate with her in the most amazing way that we ever experienced when we reconnected, then it might have been different. Girl Nation, I want to be with my boyfriend more than he wants to be with me. What should I do? Girl Nation, I think you're a troll. I'm going to check out your channel right now. If it's brand new, I'm not going to answer that question. July 12, 2019. How'd you find out about this channel, Girl Nation? Because I think that you're Robert. Be honest. How'd you find out about this channel? Nobody comes into this chat and just starts asking a question without saying hi. First time here, or hey, how you doing, right? American Dream. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how likely do you feel that Girl Nation is a troll? It's probably Robert. It's probably the same guy that hijacked Lewis Fuller's channel earlier. Look, I'm the most intuitive guy on the planet. You can't pull one on me, right? American Dream 1.5, do you have your troll radar on, bro? Do you? I'm waiting on you, brother. You tell me. I'll make a decision based on what you say, bro. 2 smart minds are better than 1, right, brother? You tell me. Let's continue in the meantime.
Most part, so you're not surprised if it doesn't work out with someone that you're trying to reconnect with, if that's the case. If you're in that situation where you've been dumped and, your ex that dumped you is now reaching out to you and you're trying to reunite, do not be surprised if it doesn't work out, because in most cases, it does not. And that's totally normal. It's a normal part of life. And again, in some cases it does. I've seen it work out, and then they end up getting married and live happily ever after. I'm not saying it doesn't work out. I'm just saying that typically people show their true colors the first time around. And if they come back for a second time, it's over a superficial reason. I think I've seen her leave comments on my streams in the past. I'm going to wait to see what Girl Nation says. Keep an eye. I just, I don't want any hatred in my chats. But let's go. There's a lot of excitement when you're reuniting with somebody from the past, because you now have a chance to kind of prove to them, what they were missing. And that's what happened in my case. But again, at the end of the day, I just really didn't feel that it was totally there like it used to be back in the original days of us dating. So once again, if I step back to the business side as well, same thing in the corporate world. In some cases, you may work a corporate job, and let's say, you get laid off or you get terminated for a stupid reason. Okay. Should you get upset at the person that fires you? You probably feel like you want to rip their head off. You want to rip their fucking head off, but you shouldn't do it. Be calm, be cordial, and be nice and say, okay, I totally understand. I wish things could be different, but thank you very much for the opportunity. Deep down inside, you're angry, but what you're going to show them is professionalism, because you never know what happens 5-10 years down the road. That same person that terminated you, might be the hiring manager for a major company you want to work for. And
oh, yeah. It's interesting how small this world is. Even if you live in a big metropolitan area like I do here in the San Francisco Bay Area, people get around. And let me tell you, as I was working, in the corporate world, the retail management, retail corporate world for the first, almost 17 years of my work history, going back to age 15 and a half, I re-encountered many managers at different jobs. So think about it. If you overreact, and you behave in a way where these people don't like you, don't you think it's going to affect you from being successful at that company, right? And they shouldn't. These managers, shouldn't hold grudges and play the corporate political system, but they do. So just think about it.
That person's going to remember how you handled the situation of them terminating you at the previous job you worked. So again, as much as it sucks and as much as it hurts when people come and go out of your life, you know, you want to take it with a grain of salt, and you want to be the better person, and you don't want to, be butthurt is a good way to put it. You don't want to sit there and get overly emotional, whether you're a man or a woman. You want to just take it with a grain of salt and be the better person, because these people are expecting you to react a certain way. They're expecting.
It's kind of like the echo chamber drama spheres on YouTube. That's their purpose. Their purpose is to try to get you to overreact. And when you back off and you don't want to associate with them anymore, but for example, like in my case, I still have some people I care for that associate with them, you know, it makes it harder because, you know, in the example I shared before I went on break with this RJ Sandiford guy, I really love him, but he wants to be a part of this echo chamber drama sphere group, right? And he wants me to talk with these people that I don't want to talk with, right? He wants me to talk with these people that I don't want to talk with, right? And he's trying to make me seem like I'm a coward for not talking with them, when the truth of the matter is these people bring no value to me, right? I've tried many times to work things out with these people, and that's not their purpose. Their purpose is to intentionally, you know, get on a panel with you and trigger you, and that way they can go back, you know, on their channel and throughout the rest of their echo chamber, system of channels, and basically talk about you and get an audience that enjoys the type of content. Why would you give them that? Exactly, Coach Eli says American Dream 1.5. Bruce says, Eli, I wanted to know, what is your opinion on schools canceling Dr. Seuss for racial undertones? I think a lot of the stuff that's happening nowadays is ridiculous. I also heard something I didn't talk about the other day. I was going to talk about it. That Tim Pool, an American journalist, most of you know who he is. I've talked about him before. He talked about Mr. Potato Head no longer being Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. They're just calling Mr. Potato Head now, right? So, like, it's a gender-neutral potato head, right? I'll get to your question in a second, James Pink. And I honestly think it's ridiculous. I honestly think that, hey, men and women are different. And, everybody's different. Despite your age, your race, your national origin, your sexual orientation, whatever, right? I think that that everybody should be treated fairly and equally. And I don't feel that, we need to change certain things just to prove further equality, like between men and women. And to promote gender neutrality. Yeah, that should be an automatic thing. The truth of the matter is, Bruce, is that men and women are different, right? Biologically, whether you're gay or straight, you're either a man or a woman. Now, if you choose to become transgender, that's your choice. You can have an operation and change your sex. But in my opinion, based on what I know, what I've learned, you're still biologically, if you're biologically a man and you transform, into a woman, you have a sex change into being a woman, you still don't have the reproductive system of a woman. You can't get pregnant. You can live your life as a woman, but technically you're not, right? Again, with no disrespect, anyone can be who they want to be. The choice is on them. But yeah, the Dr. Seuss thing, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I got to be honest with you. I'm slightly on the left, but this is a far left extremist type of move, right? This is something that I will agree with the conservatives. Okay. This is how fair I am. I'm a neutral person, right? I'm about what makes sense. I'm slightly left, but I'm not an extremist. This is a far left move, right? To promote to promote gender neutrality, right? To try to empower women even more than they've already been empowered, right? And women and men have equal rights and equal everything, right? Why do we have to make such a big deal about this stuff, right? I mean, I think Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head should be the same, right? Now, if you want to create a gender neutral potato head, or if you want to create a gay or lesbian potato head, do it, right? I mean, look, we can do that. We can add more products, right? But I think another reason why they did that is because now they can just focus on producing one potato head. It would cost them less money. That's what Tim Pool said. And it would further promote this thing that the far left is promoting, right? And it would get all eyes on them. Controversy is going to get more free attention on your products. Honestly, it's a marketing ploy. It's a marketing ploy. And it's a pretty good one, even though I don't agree with it. It's going to get all eyes on them. That's my thoughts, bro. Does that make sense? James Pink said, sounds like they're taking advantage of this RJ to lure you in. They've been doing that for the last 3 years, bro. They take advantage of him. Another thing, RJ, another thing. You're a disabled man, right? And I apologize for the moment I had where I said something that wasn't too nice about you. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. But these people are taking advantage of you, a disabled man, a blind man, and a man with autism, Asperger's to be exact, right? They are taking advantage of him. They're basically taking advantage of this man's disability and using him as a weapon. But he doesn't understand it, right? He either doesn't understand it or he's playing it off like he doesn't understand it because he wants to get drama abused, right? But it could also be the autism kicking in, right? Because half the time, he doesn't like what they're doing. RJ doesn't like what they're doing. The other half the time, he's joining them and coming at me. It's surreal. But again, I think I'll chalk it up to his autism. I'm not attacking him. I'm just stating the facts. Bruce says, perhaps it can be a topic in the future. It is a trending topic right now. It's a controversial topic, and I'd have to see if that's something that wouldn't get me the yellow icon. But yeah, I'd be happy to talk about it. I may have to title the stream a little differently, but yes, I'd be happy to talk about it. James Pink, Dr. Seuss, now that's getting ridiculous. Yep. American Dream 1.5. Why do they want to take the cat in the hat out of schools? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Again, this is a far left move that I disagree with completely. And I am slight left. I'm a liberal, but I'm only slightly liberal. I'm more down the middle. It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous, right? And let me tell you who hurts the most out of all of this, guys. It's us men. Us men, us straight men hurt the most, right? Because before all these rights came out, it was us men that were put on a pedestal because us men, we built this world. We built the world. We built everything with our hands, right? And our strength, right? And now I understand it's time for everyone else to rise up, but let's not forget who created this in the first place, right? Who still does most of these types of jobs? It's men. I've talked with women. I said, look, I respect you equally, right? But let me ask you, I asked my ex-girlfriend, I'll share the story again. I said, look, Dana, I understand you have equal rights. I respect you. It's all good, right? But would you, let's say a job paid you $100 an hour to climb up a utility pole to fix and reconnect a down power line during a thunderstorm and very windy weather. Would you be the one that would want to climb up that pole and say, okay, I'm woman now. I have the right to do this. I'm capable of doing this. Or would you rather have me go? She said, baby, you can go climb up that pole all day. I want nothing to do with that. Right? You ask most women, right? Would they do most of these jobs that were once only known as jobs that men would do? And they'd say, hell no. Now, if they want to do it, no problem. Right? No problem. Most of them don't want to do it, right? You want my honest opinion about this? I think a lot of this stuff is just a part of another echo chamber of the far left. Now, there's the far right. Listen, as much as I can't stand the far left, I can't stand the far right. I cannot stand extremism one way or another. But that's my thought about it. All right.
You to go a little stir crazy. And if you sit there and you handle it professionally, down the road, again, if you have an encounter with them and now you need something from them, they're going to remember how you handle it. And they're going to say, wow, that Eli guy, he was really nice and professional and very understanding when we had to let him go from that previous job.
I got a story to share with you guys, and I'm going to share it. I was going to start sharing it last night, but it's regarding this woman I've been talking about. I get a good feeling about her, but I'm going to share with you how I've been handling this and what I initially thought and what just happened before I went live. It's interesting if you handle things maturely, right? Okay.
He is someone that I want to hire for this job because he's strong and he can deal with the bullshit. Because in the corporate world, there's a lot of fucking bullshit, and it seems like he's the type of person that understands.
Oh, Coach Eli on the screen, mini me on the bottom right here. You can say that again. There's a lot of BS in the corporate world. That's why I work for myself. The only person that I can give BS to working for myself is myself, and I choose not to BS myself. So let's go.
It and knows how to fucking deal with it. Okay. Once again, going.
Okay. Yeah, Jamie, go ahead. Say it. Okay. Okay. This is Coach Eli, and I don't talk to anybody on panels because I'm afraid to talk with liking theory because I'm not man enough. Come on, dude. Come on, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Enough of that.
To the entrepreneurial aspect of things. Okay, entrepreneurs out there, if you're self-employed, you are your own boss. You are your own marketing agency.
Amen, brother.
You are your own brand. So when you go out to networking events and meet people, you're representing your entire business. You're representing yourself. That you act and the way that you treat people.
When you're self-employed, all you got is you. At least when you start out, before you can hire people, before you can afford to hire people. You are your brand.
So again, don't go out there and try to piss people off by trying to hard sell them a product or trying to sign them up for your network marketing pyramid business. Don't try to force them into anything. You go out there and just shake hands.
American Dream 1.5 says exactly, Coach Eli. So Dream, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I think you're an amazing guy. And I'm not even trying to life coach you, Dream. I just want to be your friend. You're a good guy. Like, have you been receiving good value from these streams? Do they help? Honestly, bro. And if they don't help, then, bro, I just want you to be honest. I'll still respect you. Like, I appreciate honesty.
Kiss babies and just be nice and cordial. And over the course of time, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Because like I mentioned in previous videos, okay, it's not only about the people that are at that particular networking event. It's about the people that they know, okay? You may not.
Right. Do you folks understand that everyone you encounter in life has their own network of people that you don't know? And you have a network of people that they don't know. So think about it. If you piss off one person for the wrong reason, you're pissing off probably another 50 or 100 people at least in their network, right? I have Coach Eli, American Dream 1.5. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video from almost 4 years ago on my former channel, okay? You should not burn bridges with anyone unless you absolutely have to. You should not burn bridges with anyone unless you absolutely have to. When it comes to this Dramasphere echo chamber group, me burning a bridge with a guy like Jamie or Raleigh, for example, is going to also burn the bridge with their audience. But their audience is just like them, and they bring no value to me. And to be honest with you, not only do they not bring value to me, they're like a setback from me getting ahead, because these are just not good people, in my opinion. They're just not good people, right? And I've given them many chances, right? So don't be afraid to burn a bridge that needs to be burned. But the majority of the bridges you come across, you're going to be dealing with at least somewhat reasonable and mature people. Don't burn those bridges. Walk away politely. You never know what's going to happen in the long run, right? But when people are extremely unreasonable or not reasonable at all, you got to burn that and go. No, you speak with experience. I know you speak with experience. Thank you, Dream. I appreciate that.
Not necessarily sell anything to the people at the networking event, but every one of those people at the networking event, they have their own network. And those are the people that, the people that you met at the networking event can refer you to, but they're not going to do that unless you treat.
That's your referral base. That's what people don't get. You go to a networking event, like we used to go to events in person. You have 100 people there. You get these people coming in trying to hard sell their products. They try to hard sell me, and I'm like, I just want to get to know you, right? I got a network of over 5,000 people. And guess what? You're not getting any access to them because you tried to hard sell me. I don't want you hard selling my network. Now, if you got to know, like, and trust me, I may have referred your business to 10 or 20 of my people, and maybe 5 or 10 of them would have purchased from you or joined your team. But because you lacked patience and because you were selfish and inconsiderate, you're not getting any part of my network, right? Does that make sense?
Treat them with respect, and you're cordial, and you don't overdo things. That's what I'm trying to say, And in many cases, when you go to these events as an entrepreneur, you may not hear from some of these people for quite some time. And that's another main purpose of this video, okay? Like I said, people are going to come and go from your life. An example, I have almost 4,500 Facebook friends, and most of these people are people I met through business networking here in Northern California.
As of right now, it's about 4,150. So, some people come and go since that time, obviously. But even though, and I didn't really pay that much attention to my Facebook network until I started live streaming there or simulcasting my YouTube live streams there probably about a few months ago or a month and a half ago.
They're business contacts. And I haven't heard from many of them for quite some time. But when they need something from me, because they know I'm very well connected, they'll reach out to me and send me a Facebook message or an email and say, hey, Coach Eli.
I met people early on in networking, didn't hear from them for 3 or 4 years, and then they needed insurance and they remembered me. And I made a good impression on them, right? Make that lasting impression. That's the best branding that money can't even buy. Money can't buy that type of branding.
Eli, or my full name's Elias Melas. Do you know of anyone that does this? Because we trust you. I trust you. You know a lot of people, and I'm sure you can refer me to, the best person.
I can. I can still do that to this day. Still got the same network. So does my friend Troy that sponsors this channel. Why would you want to burn a bridge with people that are that connected and have great contacts and resources? I don't get it.
For the job. Okay. So that's pretty much, what ends up happening there. So a lot of times you're not going to hear from these people unless they need something. And that's the way society is going. It's not a bad thing.
It is. People will come to you when they need something, and, they'll just fall by the wayside. Is that a good way to put it? Fall by the wayside? All right. Let's finish this up because I have a few more things to talk about before I go off the air here.
Thing, folks, we're in a very busy society, and it's all about, in my opinion, it's about who knows you, not who you know. You may know a lot of people. It's all about who knows you. And how are people?
Did you hear that? When I first heard that networking many years ago, it's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. And that's called branding. And if you're going to sit here and challenge Eli on the best methods of branding, like some other people from the echo chamber have done, okay, I'm going to tell you what real branding is. There's no better branding than branding yourself and allowing people to get to know you. The best way to do that is either an in-person networking event, or when you do these live streams digitally, engage your audience, get to know them, connect with them behind the scenes, have a conversation with them, and allow them to get to know who you really are. So speaking of which, I had a conversation with Lewis Fuller for an hour earlier today. He reached out to me after what happened on his stream. I talked with him. And then later on, before I went live, he's 2 hours ahead. He was up late. He messaged me on Facebook and thanked me. He's happy to be my friend. He appreciates me. It made me feel good to hear that. I helped him work through what happened. He got some heat from his family and his sister. They even told him to shut down his YouTube channel and start over. And I told him, I said, look, dude, you love YouTube, right? We fixed the issue. There's no need to shut down your channel. I asked him, said, dude, do you want to shut down your channel? He's like, no. Then why do it? Go and talk with your family and tell them everything's okay. Tell them you understand how they feel. But we handled it. I worked with Eli. He supported me. He talked to me for an hour. And he's got my back. And I do. Right? Very touching. A lot of people don't know half the things a lot of these people in the echo chamber that talk about me have no idea what I'm doing behind the scenes and how many people I've helped. And I'm not trying to show off and say I'm all that. There's much more to me than what you see out here on YouTube. What I do here is real too. And I'll share all those stories. I don't have a problem. But you folks don't see what I do behind the scenes to help people.
People going to remember you is by treating them right, is by standing out and just being a calm, loving, caring, giving person that doesn't force things to happen, that doesn't push people to do things that they really don't want to do. And that's that, you know. If I have people reach out to me and ask me to connect them with somebody that does a certain something, for example, I've had people in the past ask me, do you know a good divorce attorney? I absolutely do know a great divorce attorney that has great rates, you know, here in Northern California. And I've referred this person a lot of business because I have a personal relationship with this lady that's a divorce attorney. So,
Jesus Christ, I referred this divorce attorney to not my ex, Dana, the one before that cheated on me. She was legally separated when I met her. She had a divorce attorney that was charging her $500 an hour and not doing the work. And I connected her with my attorney friend that only charges $170 an hour. She did great work and got her divorce finalized and got a good settlement. Yeah, I'll tell you, folks. Get to know, like, and trust people. Build a network. And people say I don't help people, right? Let's go. Let's leave that one alone.
You know, again, people are going to come and go from your life. It doesn't mean that they don't care. It doesn't mean that they don't value you. It doesn't mean that they don't respect you, okay? But don't overreact when people don't reach out to you right away. I get people that, you know, reach out and say, hey, man, or, you know, hey, I haven't heard from you in like 3 or 4 months, and I've been trying to reach out to you and this and that and blah, blah, blah. We have to understand that people do get busy. And before we can serve and cater to other people, we have to take care of ourselves first. So again,
folks, I've said that time and time again. Before we can take care of other people, we got to take care of ourselves first. I learned that lesson too. I've learned that lesson in my younger days. I didn't always take as good care of myself as I do today. I mean, I did a decent job, but now I am completely 100% on board with health and looking good and feeling good and all of that. It's very important. Before you can take care of others, you got to take care of yourself first.
That's also a part of people coming and going from our life, coming in and out of our lives, okay? It's not because we don't want to respond to you right away or spend every moment with you, or, it's not that we're trying to ignore you. The fact is that we have things that are very important, for us personally to take care of.
Everybody has their own things to do. We all have our priorities. And we're going to, go down that list in order of importance, right? And just because you may not be at the top of that list doesn't mean you're not important, at least not important enough at this point. And I'll share more about that when I share this story about this woman that I've been talking with. It's interesting, right? It's interesting. And again, that's where having emotional self-control comes into play. Well, let's finish this up first.
In order for us to be successful, and that way, once we take care of that, then, we can reach out to you and be more of the person that you want us to be. We want to be in a good place. So again, do not get butthurt, do not get overly emotional if you don't hear from certain people that were once in your life, and then, all of a sudden they reach out to you. Now don't be naive at the same time. Don't be naive. You want to make sure that these people respect you when they reach out to you, and you don't want to be taken advantage of, because, sometimes in the relationship, I know of some guys that, would go back and forth to the same woman because they needed someone to have sex with while they found somebody else that they, really.
Men and women both do that. I don't do that. Like, I don't have somebody around like an F buddy, right? They call it the F buddy, right? The in-between person, right? I'm not into that type of thing, right? If you're somebody that's looking for true love and happiness, you're not going to feel the need to have an F buddy, in between, relationships. And how can you focus on getting to know someone for the right reasons when you're distracted with an F buddy, right? Now, in some cases, your F buddy might turn into something more. I've seen that happen a time or two, but that's rare.
Really wanted. So they had the backup girl, and the backup girl really liked the guy. The guy wasn't that attracted to her. He was trying to find someone more of his cup of tea. But since that was difficult, in between him dating other women, when that wasn't working out, he would go to her. So you don't want to be that type of person. You don't want to allow someone to come in and out of your life in that aspect. But there are many other aspects where it makes sense, to understand why that happens. And that's all I'm saying,
Yeah, I guess a better way to put this would be like, the song The Gambler. Once again, I keep referring to it. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Know when to walk away, know when to run, right? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? With this echo chamber dramasphere group, that's when you fold them. You got to know when to fold them there. People like RJ, hey, I still think he's a good guy, and I still think that maybe something can come out of it at some point. But I feel differently about him. So I'm not folding on RJ. I'm holding. I'm holding with RJ. I'm holding my cards with RJ. Doesn't mean I'm not going to fold them at some point, but at this point I'm holding them. But with this other group, there are some people where you just got to fold them, because if not, you're gonna lose it all. It's a good way to put it.
Just use common sense. I know most of us don't have that nowadays, but use common sense.
Yeah, I used to network with this one realtor when I first started my insurance business, and we would give each other a lot of referrals. He used to, crack snarky type of jokes. He would say, "Common sense isn't so common anymore." Oh man!
And you'll be able to make your best judgment on, who's worthy of coming in and out of your life.
Know when to hold, know when to fold them.
That makes sense. With that being said, if you'd like to work with me personally,
okay. So here's what I'm going to do, folks, because I wanted to play this full video. I'm going to queue up one more video here. That's going to make sense regarding what we're talking about tonight. But when I get back from my next break, I'm just going to go into a couple more stories. I'm going to share, one instance where our good friend GLM decided to go from our life. She's come and go. She's come and gone many times. Some people do that. I'll share my thoughts about that. GLM, if you're watching this live or on the replay, I'm not here to talk smack about you. I'm just here to use it as example purposes. And, I'll share more about that. And then I'm going to wrap things up, sharing a story about a woman that I recently connected with on Match, and how me keeping my emotional self-control together, I feel, is going to give me the best chance to actually make something work. Now, it may or may not work, but I'll share more. You're going to want to stick around for that story. So let me cue up this other video here from my former channel, now called the Coach Eli Classics videos from my former channel. And this is a topic that I got the idea from back in those days when I did it almost 4 years ago from Coach Corey Wayne. He talks about negotiation. Life is a negotiation, right? So let me go ahead and mute this. And let's see. Bruce says, see you after your break. Absolutely, Bruce. I hope you're doing well, bro. All right, let's go ahead and cue this baby up. All right. Let's increase the quality just a little bit. All right. Let's skip the intro. Oops. All right, folks. I'll be back in 5 to 7 or 8 minutes. Enjoy. This is called Life is Negotiation, but it takes time and patience. Life is negotiation, but it takes time and patience. This was originally released, on June 29, 2017 on my former channel. Enjoy, and we'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Coach Eli here, a.k.a. the Morning Rooster. And I am here to wake you up so that you have the absolute best possible shot of accomplishing whatever it is that your heart desires. Welcome back to another episode of my video relationship sanctuary series. And before we get to the topic of today's sanctuary episode, I want to mention a brief apology to all of you out there that have been following me religiously. The last couple videos that I've done didn't have the greatest audio because as I mentioned earlier on in the week, in my first video this week, I purchased a new wireless audio system to run my lapel microphone and other microphones as well when they will be needed down the road. And I've been kind of tweaking the audio, trying to get it just right. So one of the videos I did recently, the audio was a little too low. Another one was a little too high, which is also known as a little too hot in the audio world. So please forgive me. You can still hear the videos, but they are not the awesome quality that I've been known to have. But I think this video is going to be one of the best ones yet, audio-wise at least. And if not, we'll tweak it a little further. We'll just keep on pushing forward and keep on trying and not giving up till we get it right. That's the way we do it here at Coach Eli, and that's how you should do it as well. So let's get to the topic of today's video relationship sanctuary, and that is life is negotiation, but it takes time and patience. Life is negotiation, but it takes time and patience. Very, very, very interesting yet very important topic, because in my opinion, I feel that almost everything in life requires negotiation. And if you're not negotiating to get the absolute best within all aspects of your life, then you're doing yourself a disservice and you're holding yourself back from your full potential of what you actually deserve. And this comes into play in all aspects, like I mentioned, whether it's, your dating relationship, let's say you're a single man or a single woman and you're looking to find a single man or a single woman, and you put yourself out there as you're getting to know someone, whether you meet them through the online dating world or the traditional way, you're talking back and forth, and you're basically negotiating per se to see if you both are the right fit to spend more time together, eventually, fall in love, start a relationship, and maybe even get married and have kids, which many people nowadays, they dread the marriage part because the divorce rate's like over 60%. And so, uh, yeah, I concur with those of you that feel that way, but I have not given up on my dream of getting married and possibly having kids one day. And I have a great lady in my life right now, and she's 39, almost 40 years old, and she even told me, she goes, you know what, I wasn't going to have a child. I wasn't thinking about having another child because I already have two, but you're such a great guy that, you know what, if things do progress to that level between us, then I'd be willing to give you a child. And I'm like, wow, okay. Wow, I didn't even ask for that, but hey, didn't even have to, sometimes if you negotiate so well, in the beginning of your relationship and, you're a good guy and you have a good lady, things just automatically fall into play. But for the most part, you know, you have to know what you want. And if you're, let's say having coffee with a lady, let's say you're a guy having coffee with a lady on the first date, and you're talking back and forth, and you're basically, per se, like I said, negotiating. If there are some things that she doesn't like, or that you don't like about her, is what I'm trying to say, you need to make her aware of that and see her reaction. And, if it continues to go the way of where you're, hearing things from her that you don't like, or if she's hearing things from you that she doesn't like or doesn't resonate with, then you two probably weren't meant to be. So, that's where, negotiation comes into play early on when you're going on the first or second date with someone. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're a month or two or three into it, negotiations will go even further from that point, because at that point you're looking at making sacrifices because you've already invested some emotional time into the relationship, and now you've got that emotional bond. So at that point, your other half may expect more from you, and you may think, oh, it's a little too soon for her to expect more from me. So I'm going to negotiate and say, hey, you know what, baby, I understand where you're coming from, and I can tell that you're ready to take the next step, but I want to just take it a little bit slower. It's nothing to do with you. I just want to be absolutely sure this time that I do this right. But I really care about you. I love you, etc. Whatever it is, however you want to say it, that's part of your negotiation right there. And that way you keep your partner aware that you're interested. You just kind of want to slow things down a little bit to keep things grounded. And that way the relationship progresses at the right natural level. Sometimes one person may fall head over heels in love with the other person much faster, and so the other person should be negotiating to balance it out, and then hopefully if you're balancing it out, that you will end up falling in love with that person one day, and then it'll all be worth it and it'll all make sense. So yes, relationships, you need to negotiate. Basically, if you don't negotiate and you just fall into a woman's trap, or if you're a man, or sorry, if you're a woman and you fall into a man's trap, or if you're a woman and you fall into, I'm getting screwed up. Let me try that again. If you're a man and you fall into a woman's trap, or if you're a woman and you fall into a man's trap, that's something that would not be good. If you negotiate properly, and you basically say the right things, and you're not afraid to ask too many questions when you're first getting to know someone, you're going to find out if they're the right fit sooner or later than wasting more time than necessary. Okay, I'm recording this video at almost 10 o'clock at night. It's been a long day, but wanted to get my video out there to you folks because I love you folks. So forgive me for fucking up there a second ago. I'm only human. Now, I have a story I'm going to share about a negotiation I did along with a former best friend of mine. But before I get to that, negotiations also come into place, when you're trying to get a job, or if you're offered a job, you can negotiate salary. You want to make sure that you're in a good position to where
if you're applying for a job at a company, these people know that you're the best fit for the job, and you have to also know what you're worth. And if you're worth $150,000 a year and they only offer you 120, then you need to tell them, well, I was making 150 grand at my last job, and really, I can't accept anything less. I do love your company, and I would love to work for you folks, but that's just unfortunately not going to work for me. I've been at that level for a long time, and I don't want to go backwards. So, that's another area where, you may end up wanting to or you should negotiate, is what I'm trying to say, because you want to get the absolute most out of every situation possible. And what happens with companies in these situations? They're going to offer you initially the low end amount that they have in mind. They have a low end amount and they have a high end amount. And shit you not, that high end amount is probably going to be about $10,000 more than you were making at your previous job. But more than likely, they're not going to offer you that off the bat, because if they can get you for less and you submit to that, then you know what? They're getting a steal of an employee right there, a top-notch employee for peanuts. But if you speak up professionally and you politely make them aware, and you have to basically make them aware in a firm but fair way, to the point of where you have no problem walking out of that room and never coming back. Because once you negotiate at that level, they're either going to hire you or they're going to say, unfortunately, we can't pay you that much money. And then I'll say, well, thank you very much for your time. And then you turn, you walk away, you never look back. And who knows, they might call you 2 days later because you walked away. But once you walk away, you walk away. The only time you go back is if they actually contact you and say, we're going to offer you 150K. As a matter of fact, we're going to offer you 160K because we just love your attitude and you sold us.
Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. We're in the third segment, and you've been watching a clip from my former channel. Life is negotiation, but it takes time and patience. And I'll tell you, folks, the moral of the story is never sell yourself short. And I may even do a stream on that at some point. Never sell yourself short. How many of you out there have sold yourself short many times because you felt like if you asked for too much or not enough of what you're actually worth, that you're going to be rejected, right? You got to understand, everything in life is a negotiation. Relationships, business aspects, it's all a negotiation, right? And people are just afraid to ask questions to attempt to get what they want. How are you going to get what you want if you don't ask questions, if you don't negotiate? Welcome back, says Bruce. Welcome, Bruce. Right? So let me play just a little bit more of this, and I want to get these other stories here before we wrap up this show.
So we know you're going to be able to sell, our products to other people. So that's that. Another part where you negotiate is if you're going to go and buy a car, for example. And this leads into a story where I went to a car dealership with a former best friend of mine to help him buy.
And I'm not going to play that part. The long story short is that the dealership tried to tell him that we can't go any lower than this, right? When you get a used car, the markup is so high. And because my father used to sell cars for many decades before he became a realtor for the last 20 years of his life, I learned negotiation, right? And I ended up helping my friend. This was my former best friend, Brett. I've talked about on my channel before. I spent 4 hours at a dealership to lower the price of a car he purchased from like $15,000 to $13,000. They still made profit, but let me tell you, we kept going back and forth. I was telling my friend, let's just walk out. We start walking out. They would chase us back, right? They want that sale, right? And when we left that dealership and he had his car, he was like really happy and thankful and grateful. Now, our friendship ended up not working out. We had to part ways, like I mentioned on past streams. But even then, I helped him negotiate. I helped him out. I help people. It's what I do. That's what I feel I was born to do. That's my purpose. Anyway, let's go back to full screen. I'm going to briefly talk about, people, coming and going from your life. I'm going to mention real quick, specifically GLM, the God Loves Me channel. She's a woman that lives here in the Bay Area, about an hour away from me. And I got a message from her earlier tonight. And I'm going to read it because it's not a big deal. And GLM, I got nothing bad to say about you. I don't think you're a bad person. I think that you got to do what you got to do. But she left me this message, and this was at 8:36 p.m. my time here, probably about 5 hours ago or so. She wrote, "I won't be able to go back to you or Dreams channels. Good luck to you both." I tried to respond to her, and I figured she was going to block me, which she did. I just wrote back to her. I said, "No big deal. Who got to you, Trim?" And for those of you that are wondering, that are part of my community, if you're new here, you're not going to really understand this. But what GLM doesn't understand, and what I don't think you understand, GLM, is that Dream and I are good people, and we actually do care about you, and we care about good people. We care about people in general, but people that are out here on YouTube especially, that just want to stir the pot and play games, we despise that, and we try to help people avoid that. And that's all I've tried to help you understand. In spite of what happened on Lewis Fuller's channel earlier today, which was done by the legendary Trim Hits troll, who's also known as Ronaldo, who's also known as the Doctor, a guy I have a restraining order on. He's the guy that's been friends under the Trim Hits persona with GLM. And I have a feeling something happened there, and maybe Trim said something. I don't see any other reason why she would no longer want to participate. And quite frankly, I never expected you to participate, GLM, in spite of what happened in the past between you and myself and some other people. But I never thought you were a bad person. It just makes me wonder, all of a sudden, what happened? Who got in your ear? What did they say to you? Did they threaten you? I know what these people have done to you, and it sucks, and it's sad. It's really sad, because I know Dream has really enjoyed having you around, and I'm not going to lie, I've enjoyed having you around the channel too. You bring your own special flavor to it, and that's part of me, being, mature and not losing emotional self-control and just being reasonable. So, that's what happened. People are going to talk about it. They're going to talk about it. It's not a big deal. But I will say this: I will wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And hey, who knows? Maybe she'll come back another time down the road. Maybe she'll never come back. People come and go, from your lives. That happens. That's just, it's just a fact of life. It's a part of life. And we handle it maturely, and then we move forward, and whatever's meant to be down the road, if anything, will happen at that point. If not, no big deal. And that's why, if you look at my background tonight, let me just turn off the chat. Conquer fear every day, right? Conquer fear every day. I couldn't shrink this down anymore. When you become fearless like me, nothing will faze you. And you won't feel the need to stop being a part of groups you really want to be a part of because other people flex their muscles on you, figuratively speaking. Sad but true. It is what it is. Bruce says, my whole life, my highest paying job has been $8.47 an hour, but I made it work. Wow, bro. I'll tell you, if I was making just that, there's no way I'd be able to survive where I live. or probably anywhere in the U.S. God bless you, man. You're making it work. You're making it work. If you want to better your life, you want to make more, you want to start your own business, I'd be happy to help you. I'd be happy to help you, no charge. I believe I know who you are. And if you're that person that I know who you are, bro, I will help you. Especially if you are the person I think you are and you're running that YouTube channel. You can make it into something, bro. You really can. All in due time, bro. You know how to reach me. All right. So that is that. The final thing I want to talk about is this woman I've been talking about that I met recently or connected with recently on Match.com. And the reason why I want to mention this is because it directly correlates to the topic. Men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. One more time. Men that consistently display emotional self-control always win at everything in the end. And even if you don't win, you're still a winner. You're still a winner, even if you don't win, because part of winning is removing bad seeds from your life. A video I played from my former channel, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, right? It doesn't waste your time. So you can focus on winning at something else. As long as you keep your emotional self-control intact, that's all, folks. You lose your emotional self-control, you lose it all. Okay? So, I messaged this woman on February 10th, 2021. I sent her my message, I get a feeling you're different, blah, 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 right? And on February 27th, which was, 17 days later? I think that's right, 17 days later. That was Saturday. Now it is the 2nd. So 1, 2, 3, sorry. My apologies. Let me go back here. Sorry, I'm on the wrong part of the calendar. February 27th, yes, was the Saturday. That's 1, 2, 3, almost 4 days ago, right? She gets back to me. And I'll tell you a little bit about this woman. I'm not going to mention her name or show anything because, this doctor guy wants to ruin my life, right? And anything he can do to ruin it, he's gonna do it. So why give him something he can ruin, right? That could be really amazing for me, right? Right, Doc? No problem, right? Why don't you do a stream about me, Doc? You've been kind of lacking those streams lately, bro. Your echo chamber audience is missing that. But anyway, so yeah, she's 5'5", she's cute. She's 35 years old. I'm 47, she's 35. And she got back to me. And I looked at her profile, and it says, I know I found the one when we include each other in our future plans. I like it when a woman writes that. Okay? And she's single, never been married, no kids. But she's not in her 40s. So she doesn't have that stigma of a woman being in her 40s, single, never been married, no kids, and being attractive. She's still in her 30s. So she's got some good years left of fertility. And this woman does want kids. I forgot where she put that. She put that somewhere. Part of her profile says, my ideal match is open-minded, fun-loving, and ready for a committed relationship. I'm down to earth, kind, and love to laugh. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Now, I'm going to read her response to me 17 days after I messaged her. Hey, Eli. Sorry for the very slow response. Wow. I was like, wow, okay. I read your profile and it made me smile. Wow, first two lines. I apologize for the late response. You didn't owe me that apology, but shows character. I read your profile and it made me smile. I'm direct and honest and upfront. A woman that smiles at my profile is serious about getting to know somebody, right? And serious about commitment. I totally hear you. Okay. 4-paragraph response. Next paragraph. I think I probably am different from many of the women on Match, but I can't say for sure because I don't know any women on Match. Well, of course, man, because you're talking to guys. And most certainly not a number that could create any kind of accurate sample. Cool. Excellent, right? I'd be happy to talk on the phone with you one night this week. Redwood City is outside the radius I was considering. This woman lives about 50 minutes to an hour away from me. But you seem like an interesting person, so I am open. Here is my number. I didn't even get a chance to ask her for her number. And she responds immediately and gives me her number. Okay. All right. Look, does this seem like there's some potential? Sure. But don't count your chickens, right? Don't count your chickens before they hatch, right? My schedule is different every day, but typically between 5 and 8 p.m. is a good time to reach me. And then she put her name, which I'm not going to mention, obviously, right? So, took her number, sent her a text. And I'm just going to refer to her name as ma'am because, the doctor's trying to find out everything about me and ruin my life, right? What do you think about that, Dream? The doctor's trying to ruin my life, and he had nothing better to do than try to ruin my life on YouTube, right? Hi, ma'am. It is Eli from Match. My first text. I just got your very sweet message. Typically, I wouldn't send a long first text, but this woman sent me a 4-paragraph response on Match. Almost 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks after I initially messaged her. That's right. Okay. Saying that she apologized for the delay and that my profile made her smile and that she totally hears me and understands my profile. So far, so good. I can't complain, right? So I'm going to make a little more effort for somebody like that, right? I just got your very sweet message. I know you are probably about to go to sleep. I'm being considerate, right? But I just wanted to connect with you offline, and I look forward to getting to know you better. Thank you for being open despite the slight distance. I'm not going to mention her city, but I mentioned her city name really isn't that far from me as I am self-employed, make my own flexible schedule, and I'd love to drive. With that being said, have a great rest of your night, and I'll text you by tomorrow afternoon to arrange a call for tomorrow evening. Good night. Cool. She gets back to me 1 minute later. 1 minute later. Sounds good. I have a work call at 4 tomorrow, and I'm probably working out with my sister at 5:15. After that should be good. Sweet dreams. 3 minutes later, I text her back. Great. I'll text you in the evening, and we'll talk around 7 or 8. Looking forward to it. Night. 7 minutes later, she sends me 2 thumbs up. Great communicator, right? So today in the afternoon, or yesterday, at 1:05 p.m. my time, Pacific time, I wrote, hi, ma'am. Ma'am instead of her name. I don't call women ma'am. This echo chamber says, Eli calls women ma'am. Well, I'm not going to call them by their name so you can try to find out who they are and try to tell them bad things about me and try to dox her, right? Hi, ma'am. I hope your day is going well. When you get a moment, let me know if 8 p.m. works for our phone call tonight. That was at 1:05. At 1:45 p.m., 40 minutes later. Hey, Eli, 8 should be good. Is audio only okay? I'm kind of burned out on Zoom/video chatting at the moment. I love just the plain old phone. I like that. I'm old school. I don't need to see you on video when I talk with you. I like it the old school way. I've seen your pictures, right? If you don't look the same as your pictures when I meet you, then it's just not going to work, right? But I don't think you're going to catfish me. I'm not going to catfish you. I like what she said. It seems like all these guys she's talked with want to see her on camera to verify that she's cute enough to meet, right? How pathetic, right? So I didn't get back to her. I was going to get back to her like around, 7 p.m. or so, right? Playing it cool, right? I had things to do, right? I'm not overwhelming her. I'm letting her come to me, right? Let the woman come to you. Don't chase her. You got to make the initial contact, but don't chase her, right? At 6:45 p.m., she gets back to me with the message that whenever something feels too good to be true, you feel you're going to get ghosted or get the infamous message. And here it comes. Here it comes. You guys ready for it? You guys still there? You guys ready for it? Are you just listening so intently? Is that what it is? Let me check out Facebook real quick and see what's going on. Nothing on Facebook. That's all right. I'm going to still keep broadcasting there. It doesn't cost me any extra money to do so. All right. Anyway, let's just continue. Good evening. I hate to change the plan. Okay. I really like how that started off. I hate to change the plan, but I got my second shot of the vaccine today, and I am not feeling 100%. Can we talk tomorrow night instead? Yeah, I am here, says Bruce. Last minute, change of plans. Everything so far, the way she approached me, her level of interest seems high, her communication's great, and then everything's going great, we're ready for that call, and boom, I get that message. I got it at 6:45. And I'm like, okay. I was thinking to myself, when I used to watch I still watch it, but some of the older Coach Corey Wayne videos, he refers to James Bond. Remember, you guys know who James Bond is, right? He refers to a lot of his examples of what a guy should do in comparison to what would James Bond do. In this case, I was thinking about that. I was like, what would James Bond do? You got a cool, calm, and collected James Bond, right? So I was walking around, I was taking care of some things around my place, right? And then 25 minutes later at 7:10, I decided to just send her a simple text, right? To acknowledge that I'm cool with it, but to not put a lot of effort and to keep the mystery on whether I'm fully invested or not, right? Guys, the woman, you have to allow the woman to feel like she's more invested into getting to know you than you into her, right? Okay. So I said, sure, that's fine. I wrote back to her, sure, comma, that's fine at 7:10. 1 minute later at 7:11, she gets back to me. Okay, comma, thanks. You see how she's matching and mirroring my behavior, right? I acknowledge that I'm cool with it, right? But I didn't write her a book. Did I believe her that she was telling me the truth about the second shot of the vaccine, or she was just trying to talk to another guy? I was saying it's a toss-up. It can go either way. This one seems decent. Maybe I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, right? You always have to think in the back of your mind. If they really want to find a way to talk with you, they're going to do it, right? But maybe she really wasn't feeling well. So I'm just going to give her a one or two or three word line, right? The one-liner, right? Sure, that's fine. Then she matches and mirrors my behavior a minute later. Okay, thanks, right? So I wasn't going to reach out to her until tomorrow, right? I was not going to reach out to her until tomorrow. I was going to wait to see if she was going to reach out to me tomorrow afternoon to arrange this, right? I was preparing for this stream. At 10:43 p.m., when you least expect it. That's why, guys, when you least expect it or expect things, that's when they happen, right? At 10:43 p.m., I get a text from her. She writes me a 2-paragraph text. Thanks for being understanding. I laid down at 7:30 and promptly fell asleep. I guess I needed my rest, right? I actually believe her. Now, she may still be, maybe she did talk to somebody else, maybe she didn't. I don't think she did, right? I'm not trying to be naive. What I'm saying is that a woman that doesn't care about you or care about getting to know you is not going to be that detailed. They're going to be like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, right? She's being communicative and detailed. Thanks for being understanding. I laid down at 7:30 and promptly fell asleep. I guess I needed my rest. Second paragraph. I hope you're having a great night. She spelled your properly. You are, Y-O-U''re. I hope you're having a good night. I look forward to chatting tomorrow. All I did was I reached out to her earlier to see if she's available at 8. She said yes. She had to change plans and wanted to know if we could talk tomorrow instead. I said, sure, that's fine. She said, okay, thanks, a minute later, and then I let it go. And I wasn't going to reach out to her unless she reached out to me first. I figured she would do that tomorrow or later today. We're already the next day, but this was before midnight tonight. And then she gets back to me after she woke up from a nap, probably before she went back to bed, and she remembered me and wanted to communicate with me. Now, let me ask you guys in the chat. I know it can go either way. But if you had to guess, and you never know, some people play the game pretty well, but I don't think she's playing games. Do you feel that so far this woman appears like a woman of integrity, or do you feel that she's playing games? I honestly think she has integrity because she reached out to me twice before I could even get back to her. Interesting, huh? But how could it have gone different? I'm going to wrap up with this, okay? When she said, I hate to change the plan, but I got the second shot of the vaccine, I could have reacted differently. I could have said, what time are you free tomorrow? I could have said, can we make definite plans tomorrow? I don't want to make definite plans with you, and then you cancel out on me again, right? I could have gone that route. But how would that come off? That would come off like a lack of emotional, that could come off like a lack of emotional self-control, emotional awareness, right? Come off as insecure, right? So all I said was, sure, that's fine. I let it roll. I acknowledged her. I went on with my day. Do I like her? Am I interested in her? Heck yeah, I'm interested in her. She's cute and she seems nice. And she wants to have kids. And she's looking for something real. At least that's what she says. But if I overthink it or say too much, I'm going to be no different than every other guy that's approached her, right? I'm the one that's going to be different. I'm going to give myself the best possible chance. This is a negotiation. Let me tell you something. My negotiation has been perfect with her so far, and her negotiation, whether she realizes it or not, has been flawless too. Now, they say if it's too good to be true, it probably is. But that's yet to be determined. I kept my cool. I didn't attach myself to any particular outcome. I'd love to meet her and see where it goes, but if it doesn't go anywhere, so be it. But if I play my cards cool and she comes to me like she's coming to me and keeps coming to me, who knows what could happen? It could be something amazing, right? From what I hear, she sounds legit. I agree. All right, guys and gals, I'm going to get on out of here. I've been on for 2 hours and 44 minutes. I should be back for a stream tomorrow. I'm going to be talking with Jenny at some point. I will reach out to her on Hangouts in the morning, Jenny from the block. And who knows, maybe I'll be doing an interview with her tomorrow. We were supposed to do all of that, today, but I didn't hear from her, and she got jet lagged. She came, in on this stream at the beginning of it on the YouTube side of things and made me aware. So I'm going to talk with her tomorrow at some point. And then who knows, maybe I'll be interviewing her tomorrow night or just doing another topic, at some point. But folks, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or any topic requests for future live streams or videos, please go to the description of the YouTube side of things or on the Facebook description and email me at coacheli@coach.eliasmelas.com. I'd be happy to see what I can do. If it's a topic that makes sense and would bring great value to my entire audience, I will highly consider doing it. Good night, Eli. Great show as always. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate it. With that being said, folks, have a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.